I am Abhay Bang. I live in the central part of India in a remote place called Gadchiroli. This is a tribal district and the poorest district in the state of Maharashtra in India. And for the last 25 years, my wife and I, we have founded an organization called Search. And our basic work is really providing medical care, health care to people locally, but also conducting research on what do people need as healthcare, how to provide that healthcare by empowering people and making those solutions available globally. So act locally, but also local action with research makes global impact. I was inspired to go to this remote area because of Mahatma Gandhi. Long ago, about 60 years ago, Mahatma Gandhi asked my father, who was a young professor of economics at that time, to go to the villages of India, which he did. So we have a family legacy. So when I completed my medical education and Rani and I married, we studied at Johns Hopkins subsequently, and then where to work in India. So this district, so remote that people in Maharashtra, doctors in Maharashtra, nurses never wanted to go to this place. Infested with malaria, snakes, tiger, Maoist movement. And so we thought that if at all we can give medical care to people, go where people need you most. And that's why about 25 years ago, we went to Gadchiroli. So on one side, compassion for needy people, for most vulnerable human beings, but at the same time, we have combined that with science, with research. And this compassion and research together is a very powerful sort of combination. It moves the world. Compassion should be really very integral part of any healthcare. As a person, as a patient, whenever we receive healthcare, we do want compassion about healthcare. But in designing large-scale systems and global health programs and looking at data and numbers in millions and billions of dollars, those things were lost. Consideration for compassion was lost. Also because probably the needs of patients and needs of people are not so well appreciated by we doctors, public health experts, planners, bureaucrats. And so, death is discussed, disease is discussed, but compassion is not discussed because it's not concrete, it's not visible, it is not tangible. You can't measure it easily, you can't show it. But the day-to-day practicalities or too much of work or not being able to relate personally with people, we usually lose that sense of compassion. And when healthcare provider loses that sense of compassion, healthcare becomes impersonal. One who receives healthcare without compassion feels insulted, because then one who is giving healthcare is not giving with compassion, but is giving as if he is obliging you. So the receiver as well as giver both feel enriched by compassion and both feel deprived if there is no compassion. Decisions made in global health which are not touched by compassion often become inappropriate, insensitive to local needs. Without mentioning a particular example, but why not? Let me take a concrete example. Population control is a good priority. World needs it. But when contraceptive programs and technologies were on a large scale provided to women world over without compassion, women started complaining in 80s and 90s that these are being thrust upon us. We need different technologies, we need different kind of relationship. And so finally, the global population policy had to be changed from mere contraception, pushing in pills or IUDs, to women's reproductive health. It's a classic case study of how a right goal, population control, right technology, contraception, but given inappropriately, delivered inappropriately, without compassion, without being sensitive to the recipient, how it got into disrepute. So, same thing might happen with various other healthcare programs. And so, we must be sensitive to local people who are the recipient of global healthcare. To be sensitive, we need compassion. To be good listeners, we need compassion.